Guys, welcome back to the channel for another action figure review. The first time I was completely floored and surprised. This time I don't even know what to think. What I'm getting at is Harbinger Studios, the Savage Crucible team, last April messaged me and said, "Hey JB, we're going to send you something if it's okay. No strings attached and you don't have to do the review or nothing, just it's a gift." I'm like, "What? No, me?" So they sent me Como of the Isles. We did a review of it. Fell in love with the Savage Crucible line. You fast forward to, January of 2025, Happy New Year. On my front doorstep was a box and it said Harbinger Studios. And I opened it up and it was another Savage Crucible figure. You gotta be kidding me. How am I so lucky? Well, I'll tell you what, guys. The Savage Crucible team, the guys are all phenomenal. They're like us. They're collectors and they love action figures and they put out really, really great action figures. So, with that being said, full disclaimer, I did not ask. I was completely surprised when it showed up, and I don't have to do this review, but I'm telling you, I'm doing this review because I've seen it, the box. I've seen it in the box. Now it's my time to share it with you guys. So, stick around. So guys, before we turn the camera around, I just want to go ahead and just show you, like while it's in my hand, this is what they sent. I'm going to try to say this, VETERIS RAPAX. I did look it up. I think this means veteran. I can't remember what RAPAX means, or RAPAX. But just like the other Savage Crucible action figures, there is a story on that, so I'll go ahead and show you that. But I'll go ahead and read that here in a minute. VETERIS RAPAX. Like I said, guys, this was a complete surprise to me. So Rob and the guys over at Savage Crucible team, thank you so much for, again, considering me part of the pool where you were sending out these sample action figures. This is full production action figure, guys, don't get me wrong, but as far as, to test the waters, to get it out into the community. So I truly appreciate you considering me when you guys did that. The first time and of course this time completely floored me. So in the box, it's going to be VETERIS RAPAX, and it's going to have one additional head, and it's going to have 4 brand new tooled weapons. And there's going to be one blind bag, which is a random weapon, and it comes with a few updated feet and ankles. That was one of the things that, we as collectors said, it's great, and it's great to have toe articulation, but it was getting kind of loose. So they were fixing that, and just like all good businesses do, they see an issue and they hear the feedback from their customers or their clientele like us, and they went ahead and they're doing the right thing by fixing it. So again, that's a good, in my opinion, good business practice and a good business model. It's like no one's perfect, we get it, and it was a great attempt, but to fix something that the crowd wants and the clients want, they went ahead and did that. So that's pretty awesome. So RAPAX is available on the current sale right now on their website, and of course all the links will be down in the description below. The sale goes until Friday, January 17th. So I'm doing my best to go ahead and push this video out and just, get you guys aware. And again, it's just for awareness. If you are interested that they do have their sale going on to January 17th. And the figure that we are going to review will be included into that sale. Let's go ahead and look at our VETERIS RAPAX and see what this guy's all about. So here we are, guys, with the outer box. Again, Savage Crucible right at the top. VETERIS RAPAX. Someone let me know if I'm saying it right. There we go on the side, and on this side, Savage Crucible. And on the back, a little bit of a background into what they call the Crucible. There it is right there, and then at the bottom right, you got Harbinger Studio. Let's go ahead and open this guy up. And on the inside, guys, you have the bio of VETERIS, and right here, you can see our beautiful display of how it comes in package. And I will be taking him out so you can see it with all the light kind of bouncing off the reflection there. But just real quick, if you guys can see it, you got your axe up here. You got, looks like a sword on the left. You got hand sculpt on the bottom left, another hand sculpt down here. Looks like a whip, another sword, and an extra head sculpt. And I don't know if you guys could see it while it's here in box, and we'll get to it. But that's a little blind bag right there with, if I'm not mistaken, a weapon. So we're going to go ahead and check that out. And I actually want to go ahead and show you guys this. If you haven't watched the other review, it's okay if you haven't. If you don't have one and you don't know, when you pull them out, there is a card, which is very awesome, in the foil that we're going to open up here in a little bit. I'm telling you guys, the colors and the texture, not just of this action figure, but the other figures from Savage Crucible, phenomenal. I know I have the Imperial Sentry and the Royal Guard. I love them. And you know, when you can swap heads, customize, maybe get a soft goods cape and make it your own. So let's go ahead and take this guy out. Actually, before we take him out, let's go ahead and see this map. All boxes, all Savage Crucible figures come with this awesome map. It's a nice little touch, that's for certain, for those of you guys that really dive into the lore and or continue to start your world building with the Savage Crucible figures. So really awesome to have in here. And there's Rapax right there. He looks phenomenal. If you guys can see the detail in the head, the shoulder pad area, the armor around his shoulders and goes all the way to his back, the spikes, the paint and the color detail on the spikes. It's that weathered look. It's got a nice wash everywhere. It's been battle worn, it's battle tested. Then right here along his waist, he has some more armor. And then on his calves, around to his shins, some more armor. We're gonna get more of Rapax here in a minute. Let's look at his accessories. First, let's go ahead and look at the axe. If you guys could see that axe, it looks so phenomenal. The detail, the paint, the weathering, the washes, and you can see here along the blades or the edges of the axe, it's all dented and worn and torn. This guy's been through battle. Right here at the handle, and it's got good weight to it. Let's look at his next weapon. Is that a sword? Or is that a cutlass? Look at that pitting and etching. Again, damage, war torn, and you can see on the handle the detail that the guys did here. They did really well. His other weapon, you got a sword, sharp too, guys. Now I'm guessing that's blood from the battle that he's been through. The hilt looks really good. Nice detail. I like, this is unique. You don't see that too often. It looks really good. Wow. And yes, another one. This one's even got more stain on it, some blood stain on it. A lot more, if you guys can see at the top, a lot more cracks and etching from being used in battle. There's the hilt there. Wow. Here we have his whip. Now this whip does not come out, so it's just going to port. Looks like it's going to port right onto his belt. But it's a nice little, again, another accessory to have. Good coloring right here. I guess this would be leather, so you can see it's kind of worn and torn. Left and the right, kind of grabbing motion with his hands. Same thing right here on this one. Additional head sculpt. You guys can see that. And the additional head sculpt does hinge right at the jaw. Let's go ahead and take a little bit closer look into VETERIS. Let's go ahead and start with the head. This nice helmet, it's not removable, I don't think, and I think that's why they give us the extra head sculpt. Yeah. So you can see here, that's where he would see out of his eyes. That's cool. Right there on the side. Now he does have articulation in the jaw. You look underneath, you can see the color of his skin. It's got like a, just a brown with some orange highlights, the scaling, and then you can see his green skin and the orange highlights of the paint on his body. Good color, guys, right here on the armor, going back to the armor. It's got a nice wear where it looks like red armor, but you can see that it's kind of wearing and where the spots where it would. Along the spikes, you can probably see it a little bit better on the back. Right here, a little bit of wear here and there. Good weathering back here. And along his back, you can see the good detail on his back. I don't know if you guys can see, but the texture on the bodies of these, I guess you could say lizard men, it's It's like if you had a lizard, you know, if this was a real lizard. Shoulder pads, good detail. You got two serpents right there. They do go up and into the shoulders, so when you turn or when you rotate your shoulders, you rotate the shoulder pads with it. We'll get to the articulation here in a minute. Right here on the forearms, the gauntlets, same paint detail as in the chest armor, and the same thing with the spikes on both sides. Getting to the hands, wow. I don't know if that is his, I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know if that is his skin color, guys, or if that's actually like blood. It might be blood, guys. I guess you guys could just call it for what it is. This guy's a warrior. Going down to his waist and the belt area, you have good detail along here and in the back. And right here is where you are gonna sheath the weapons. You got your shin guards that actually go all the way around to the calf. And again, the detail right there on the quad, the orange stripes, very awesome. And with these figures, it's not like it's a, you know, sometimes we'll get figures and they feel kind of hollow. These figures feel solid. Let's look at the toes, guys. You can see here on this one, they chose not to do the toe pivot or the toe articulation, which is fine by me, because these, you're going to see here in a minute that the articulation on these guys is phenomenal. So the toe articulation is great if you wanted that extra, but you could get this guy into some dynamic poses. The tail is articulated. You got 1, 2, 3, and it looks like 4 points of articulation for the tail. So he can swivel and bend as needed. So let's go ahead and look at some articulation. Let's go ahead and start from the head down. He can look down that far, and that's what I'm saying, guys. With their figures, they got some pretty good articulation. They could go look down that far and look up that much. And as far as tilt and to the left and to the right, pretty good. Rotate all the way around if you needed to. And what many of us like is the articulation in the jaw. Good detail on the teeth. Can you guys see that? I'm gonna take the head off and put the other one on. Popped off nice and easy, no issue. And there we go with the alternate head. You can see the eyes a little bit clear because it doesn't have the helmet on. I will be posing this guy in on the shelf with the helmet. Now, I didn't warm anything up. We're just going straight out of package to see what we can go. Now, if I needed to warm or get the joints loose at all, which I didn't have to do for the last couple ones. I just had to, you know, take it easy, work it in a little bit. So let's see what our lat raise could do. So we can get our lat raise almost to 90, not too bad. And when I was doing that, you can see here where you can port, where the shoulder pad ports right into there. So if you wanted to remove it, you can remove it there. Butterfly joints, very awesome to have. So if you needed to get him into the two-hand wielding the sword motion, or even like 2 hands wielding that axe, there should be no issue because of the butterfly in there. A lot of articulation in the Savage Crucible action figures. And the same thing for the right. Let's see if his right. Get up there, almost 90. Rotate all the way around. Let's see, will he rotate all the way around? Yes, he will. Very cool. Elbow, double joint at the elbow. It's just above the elbow and down below the elbow. So you'll get there, and then you'll get some articulation there. So he can go over 90 right there, and they do swivel at those points for maximum agility, articulation. The hand, it's got his grip hands on there. Rotate at the wrist. We got the vertical hinge up and down. He's got the vertical hinge up and down. And should be the same on the left. Double joint, very good. Swivel in his hand. Rotate there. And he's also got the vertical. Now let me look at his other hands. So these hands will go horizontal. So up and down. Let's get his hands up so you can see his waist a little bit. Here at the waist, he's got right there at the upper part of the diaphragm, and he should have something at the waist, and he does. So you got the upper diaphragm, so you could give him there, and then at the waist, even more. Savage Crucible team did a really good job when it came to the tooling and to the articulation right there at the waist, and he can bend back all the way. That is awesome. Swivel, like we said, upper diaphragm, and right at the waist. We're going to slide this up and look at his hips. Right there at the hips. Look at that. He can kick almost at 90. He could even go back a little bit. He can go almost 90 all the way out. That's crazy. And he swivels right here at the upper hip. So if you needed to get even more articulation that way. Down at the knees, double articulation at the knees, kind of like the elbows. So you got here, right here below the hamstring and right above the calf. Look at that. Swivel. And then for his left, kick all the way up. Kick back a little bit. And you can swivel a little bit right there at the waist. And you can swivel a little bit right here at the upper thigh. Let's see if we can get that. There you go. Break it in a little bit. There you go. And his knee, his right knee. There you go, guys. I didn't do that with the other leg, but yeah, he can go that far back. That's crazy. And then when it comes to his ankle, he could point down, toe up, swivel, and rotate. Awesome. And that's both feet. Peg holes at the bottom in case you need it. Tail, showed you earlier. 4 points of articulation. Swivels right there. And it can go, let's see how far back it can go that far back. So he could get his tail up there, down there if you need it, and of course, side to side, however you decide to move his tail. Look at this, guys. Took me just a few minutes. It actually took me a little bit longer to get his feet and his legs in a good position for him to, you know, get to a part where like he's using that axe or about to swing it. But it took me only a second to get both of his hands together to grab that axe. Again, with the good articulation with the butterflies back here, the butterfly and then into the shoulder, kind of bringing it even more in. This might be a better angle where you can see how he could bring his arms in with no hesitation. And then the double articulation right there at the elbow to get even more articulation if you needed. You guys could get these guys into many dynamic poses. Some more poses right here, wielding both swords, bloody, ready for battle. Here we have him swapped out the one right hand for the kind of like reaching out hand, and we put the other sword, the cutlass, on his left hand there. And you know, honestly, as I was doing this and putting that there, now he has almost that regal look to him. You know, when he's got his armor on and he's wielding the blood splattered weapons, you know, whether it's the axe or the two swords. Now it looks like he just changed. He didn't change himself, but you can just see the different in the demeanor, you know, with the very stoic head sculpt there. Here, guys, we're comparing our guards and our sentry and Coma of the Isles with VETERIS right here. They're all pretty much the standard size height, I guess you could say, as far as characters. Now, with our guard right here, we do have a different head sculpt that we got from the head sculpt pack, so that was pretty awesome to get, but everybody else is standard. So let's go ahead and see just that 7, maybe a little bit taller than 7, but what's really great, guys, about Savage Crucible is the customization. It's a 7-inch figure, great detail, great paint, the feel, the texture, just the figure alone, out of the box, put a couple weapons on, you could be good. But when you get a head sculpt pack, a weapons pack, interchange here and there, and of course take off the armor maybe, you know, have it wield a different weapon. Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. You build your own world with the Savage Crucible figures. One thing that I did forget, guys, is to look at the blind bag. Let's see what the team threw in there for us. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. That is cool. Look at that color, guys. So is this like a special weapon he can use and have? I like that. Or you could add it to your weapons pack for your other figures. One thing, guys, I forgot to show was the card that it came with, the giant card. I really like these giant cards. And this time we got the Imperial Sentry right there. So as you collect Savage Crucible, you collect the cards, and of course, if you wanted to go ahead and either display it with your figure, or if you wanted to start getting into some scenarios and start playing. Very cool. So this time we got the Imperial Sentry. So leave it in the comments, guys. Do you guys collect Savage Crucible, or have you thought about it? Are you looking to start getting Savage Crucible? If you have Savage Crucible, which ones do you have? Kind of curious. How far into the line are you going to go? Is it just going to be 1s and 2s? Or are you looking at actually doing a world build? This guy is going to be included on the sale that they have on their website right now through Friday, January 17th. Also, if you wanted to see these figures in person, don't worry. Let's say if you go to a convention like Toylanta, they're going to be setting up at Toylanta, and they're usually pretty busy for obvious reasons. Guys, thank you for tuning in to this action figure review of VETERIS RAPAX. My final thoughts: phenomenal. Paint, the articulation, the flexibility, the customization, the different ways that you can pose and have this figure with the different weapons, different head sculpts, and of course adding him to my world of Savage Crucible. It's fun. It's a great figure to have. Rob and the guys at Savage Crucible team, thank you guys again so much for allowing me to get a first glimpse at your awesome artwork, and of course being able to present it to whoever's watching right now. And we definitely look forward to seeing you guys at Toylanta. Thanks guys for tuning in. Always enjoy the ride. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Oh yeah, holy moly, God! That's just